Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. Espinal. And joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua. Gangsta Time Code.
It's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
Chris.
Hey, bro.
I am mildly chagrined at the moment, but I'm ready for a great podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, let's hope this episode turns that chagrin into just a grin for you. Can we do that? Can we? You think we can accomplish that?
Was that one of your best efforts?
Honestly,
you know what? You don't have to answer that. That's fine.
Well,
you don't have to.
Well, I was trying to make you happy, but fuck you, buddy. You know what? This is the last time I tried to make you smile.
Hey man, I'm a friend.
I thought so. Apparently not. My only true friend is our formless producer, Edgelord. Big news, Brian.
Yo, what's up, nerds?
Hello, Brian. How are you today? Are you chagrined as well?
Oh yeah, I'm chagrining real hard right now.
Well,
Why? Is it because the latest chapter of Dororo? No.
Dororon?
Shit. What was the other one?
Oh, Shoha Shoten?
Yeah. That one. Is it because that didn't release, Brian? Your favorite?
It did release.
No, it comes out the same time as World Trigger.
It's monthly, dude. It released.
Oh.
You're frozen, by the way.
Actually, yeah. Sorry, I had to adjust my brightness because you guys were looking like I was in a cave. I had to realize that's me.
Well, anyway.
It'll get better though, Brian.
Yeah. We got a fun show planned for you today. We have hopefully maybe a short one today. We only have 4 manga to talk about. It'll be a lot of fun. But first, let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole on Instagram. No, JD Cole _37 on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
And you can hit me up on Twitter too. NY Chillin' with the EN at the end.
Oh,
not
yeah.
ING.
Brian? Well, I guess he can't talk right now. You can find Brian at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. Hit him up on twitch.tv/It's Punchline as well if you want to watch and play video games.
Muy contento.
Yeah. What? Muy contento? I like it. You can follow the show.
That means very happy, right?
No, I don't think contento is a word. It's contento.
I made that up. Shit.
Yeah, that was you. That was your ignorance. Making shit up as always. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Twitter especially because we do a really good chapter of the week poll, the results of which we have today on today's show. So let your voice be heard. The poll usually goes up a couple hours after the new chapters come out on Sundays. So check us out. Give us a follow and let us know what you think is your favorite chapter of the week. You can email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Hit us up. That would be greatly appreciated. Or you can comment on whatever video you're watching, whether it's the full version or the little highlight breakouts we make for each series. And while you're at it, give us a subscribe on YouTube. Please hit that like button, if you will. That would be very sweet of you. And if you prefer audio podcasts, we are pretty much everywhere you listen to podcasts. iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora. Wherever you listen to podcasts, we are on there. So check us out. And give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Why not? Get us in that algorithm. Anyway, that's it for us. Thank you guys so much. Let's get into it. It is time to start with our first manga. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1034, Sanji versus Queen. Last we left off, Zoro was having quite a battle with King. He's getting to get his new task together, which is mastering the haki, his own conqueror's haki, so that he may wield Enma with ease. And we start out this chapter with the battle between Queen and Sanji that is raging on. The lady that got hurt is just still in the way of all this, and all of her friends are telling her to get the fuck out of the way, but she won't because she can't find Chuji. And you're muted, Josh. I don't know if you were trying to say something. But anyway, yeah, that's happening. Meanwhile, outside of Onigashima, we have Momonosuke trying to grasp onto Kaido's flame clouds because he can't really make them himself still. So he's just trying to find another way around it. He may not be able to push the island back off, but he's trying to stop its fall using Kaido's own flames, which is, I guess, a good plan B. I would say, best he could do.
He's trying to rise up to the challenge.
Yeah, for sure. Back at the battle with Sanji and Queen, as the battle rages on, Sanji starts noticing that Queen is starting to use all of his brother's abilities by the Germa 66 folk. Whether it's Ichiji's Sparking Valkyrie, which is just eye beams. We have Niji's fucking Henry Queen, which is just like an electric shock that he hits you with.
Henry.
Yeah.
These names.
Henry Blazer, but it's Henry Queen this time. And he just starts bragging. He's like, ha ha ha, you get it yet? I'm using Germa 66 moves. I was saving them up until after you transformed to see if my version of your son's attacks are better than his version. So, you know, that's the whole reason he wanted Sanji to transform, so he could compare what he's accomplished to what Judge has accomplished. He starts whooping Sanji's ass with his brother's powers. He uses wind.
He's dragging him.
Yeah, literally across the whole thing. He's dragging him through like doors and walls. It's pretty crazy. Sanji manages to kick the shit out of one of his arms and detach it. It's pretty cute. Queen is like, what?
And it hurts Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what? My hand, curse you.
I was surprised he felt that.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Through the dinosaur toughness and advanced robotics, you still felt the pain, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that's really impressive technology, right?
Definitely.
I would say.
It is funny how, like, he's like, Sanji's like, I told you not to fucking say their names around me. And Queen's like, there's no freedom of speech anymore.
You sound like a conservative.
Yeah, for real. So yeah, Sanji just keeps on following up the attacks, and Sanji basically declares that he's accepted that he's not the same person that he fought back under the dome. So, you know, he better get ready to fucking go, because I'm a heartless robot now. I'll fucking kick your chest super hard until it dies. So then Queen delivers his final like reveal technique, and he can apparently use Stealth Black, which is Sanji's technique.
He went invisible against characters that can sense your every movement, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, but that's not what happened. I mean, that was in my mind. I'm like, so what? You went invisible. You big dinosaur ass. I could probably still hear you.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that mean? What'd you do except just be an asshole and show him how I can do your special move and beat you with it?
Yeah, basically.
I kind of like that, actually. But too bad it's Queen.
Yeah.
And he's about to die.
Yeah, he's about to get his shit kicked in, literally. Sanji disappears too as well, but he just seems to like be. He moves.
That nigga Queen was tight too.
He's like, he disappeared too. It's really more that
just by pure speed.
Yeah, basically Sanji is moving so fucking fast that he can't be seen by the naked eye.
I don't know if this is supposed to be coming off as casually done, but to me it does. It feels like it's a very casual.
Yeah.
Of Sanji, like, was this something he did before? Has he always been confirmed to be able to move this fast, or
I think
is this new territory for Sanji because he's a robot now?
Maybe it's new territory because he's a robot now. Okay. But Sanji's fast. I would say Sanji's probably pretty fast. He's got leg strength.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. But, to be able to move so fast that you are unseen.
Well, he could be just hiding.
The dinosaur eyes, no less, which I'm going to assume are better than ours.
Okay, I know what it is, actually. We'll see it in the next chapter. Next page.
I'm about to say, nigga, you know something?
My bad.
Whoa. Whoa. Let me find out, Chris. We got some exclusive shit.
No, never, unfortunately. I'm not tight with Oda like that. Okay, so as Sanji is like doing his Houdini move, we see that like this fucking mouse just starts running into the battlefield, and this lady is just like, oh, Chuji, you're all right. And she's just like, hurry over here. She makes herself seen, and Queen gets upset that this woman's even around.
Yo.
He said,
I was really struggling to find out like why he had such an attitude. It's basically jealousy, right?
I don't know.
And upsetness because she didn't like him.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Something like that?
No. What happened was that like, okay, so Queen is in charge of this area of Kaido's operation. He's in charge of the pleasure hall. So, now that Komurasaki has been dead, quote unquote, Hiyori, she was like the number two. Like the number two.
Like as far as like beautiful girls go.
Yeah, and she called out sick. So Queen is like, you bitch. You fucked my money up.
Yeah, you fucking liar.
You fucked my money up. Now I'm gonna pimp slap you again.
Wow, he's really pimping them. Yeah, they're pleasure halls. Oh, that didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
Queen? He's a foxy guy, man.
Yeah.
Is he from Atlanta?
He's ATM. Queen
from Memphis?
Queen from Atlanta? Yeah, I know that guy. Okay, so yeah, he is mad that she called out sick when she probably wasn't sick. I wonder how foolish it is to clock out sick on the same island as your boss that's just always around.
Right.
When you live with your boss.
Try a little bit harder,
Yeah. And then he goes like, was my divine punishment earlier not enough? And it's by that we can assume that Queen was the one who hurt her when Sanji was running towards her. It wasn't Sanji that bumped into her. It was Queen that, using Stealth Black, just knocked this lady aside real fast before engaging the fight with Sanji. Which, I mean, talk about keeping your pimp hand strong, dude. Like, you're in the middle of a war, and you still gotta keep her in check.
I felt the need to correct that behavior. Like, whoa.
I thought you was out sick.
You play with my money.
Dude, I mean, Queen's about it.
I guess. Oh my god.
I guess ATL would be proud.
All the hustlers, bro. Remember the convention that Butters went to?
Yeah. Oh my god, the kissing booth episode? That shit was so funny.
Oh shit, that was one of the best episodes, man.
Yeah, Butters' bottom bitch, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But anyway, Queen's about to go smack a hoe.
So you see, I had to go over there and listen. What he said? He's talking about standing. He's like standing like over there and listening to all her stupid fucking problems. He can say he is paying.
Yeah.
He said when they go on dates and he has to listen, you see him just like, oh man, I'm sorry guys, it's totally off topic, but man,
I mean,
there's not that many people around that know about South Park.
South Park's legendary, dude.
Your Butters turned into a beast.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that special that they put on Paramount Plus, the post-COVID.
Me neither. I want to watch that shit, bro. We should watch that shit together.
I'm down.
I want to get mad high. You don't have to get high with me.
No, but
I want to get clapped and watch that shit and just die laughing with someone I know that is going to appreciate the same humor.
Hell yeah. Well, anyway.
I'm not even looking at any of it as... All right, anyway.
Anyway, Queen's about to go smack a hoe, and then Sanji he didn't disappear. He's up there doing skywalk the whole time. So I think that's where he went. He was just like up there double jumping for eternity. And then he noticed that Queen was going after him. And he's thinking about what he gained from his upgrades. The exoskeleton muscle and speed. all which increase strength. Add the color armament that I've developed to the exoskeleton, and my legs are tougher, capable of even supporting hotter flames. And so Sanji lights up his flames even brighter, and you see the little sparks of electricity. I don't know if that's intentional.
Yeah, I don't know. Now whenever I see that shit, I'm just like, oh man, is that conquerors?
I mean, if it's conquerors along with fire and metal, it's pretty fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, Sanji just goes straight down, and he notices that the mystery is solved. You did that, Queen. You miserable piece of scum.
The mystery is solved.
Yeah, and you know better not to hit a woman.
I wasn't even thinking about that shit.
Yeah. And you know better not to hit a woman around Sanji. He's about to fuck Queen up. And he kicks Queen right in the fucking head as he's coming down, and just keeps on hitting this combo, all named after French food. Just like Basse Cote Blast.
He's cooking this nigga up.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, this is crazy. Jumeau a Beefsteak Blitz. Yeah, he's beating the flying fuck out of him. And he says, now fly, sicko. And he hits him with the boof burst, knocking Queen into the stratosphere, it seems, as Queen lets out a healthy
Yes, the spiral sent up too. I don't think he got sent into the atmosphere. It looked like he got sent maybe to the ceiling. I mean, he's a whole brontosaurus.
I would love it if he
mechanical robot parts.
Man, he kicked him to Eneru. It's over for Queen. Queen's gonna be Eneru's gonna be like, what is this creature on the moon now?
Whoa.
Damn. But this is that was One Piece.
Gibbo.
What was it? I think it was more than Gibbo. Was it Gibbo?
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. But
yeah, that was what we used to just say.
I think this was my RGC.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah.
Was this yours too?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Fair.
Fair. It was. It's fair.
Yeah, it is. I just like this because I feel like this was kind of not a slow week for Jump, but of all the chapters, I think this is the one I kind of vibed with the most.
I think it was a slow week for One Piece.
What?
No, it was a slow week for Jump.
No.
I don't know. Well, we're at the end of the chapter, right?
Yeah.
Give thought?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, let's not make no mistake. This was the runner-up for RGC. Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of decided during the podcast if that means anything else.
Yeah.
But I'm not impressed with this showcase by Sanji. When he uses these flaming hot Cheetos moves or whatever you want to call them, his French cuisine stuff. To me, these are just moves he already had. I don't know. There's nothing new going on. It's nothing groundbreaking like that happened with Zoro. This is like a weird follow-up. All Sanji did was get... You know what? I take that back. Sanji already had a power-up via the exoskeleton stuff. I just think it was a little underwhelming in the shadow of what we just, revealed by Zoro. I think it's always been clear that Zoro is going to have a leg up, no pun intended, I guess, on Sanji. Mm-hmm. Combat-wise, if even just by a little bit, But, I don't know. I'm just not impressed. But there's no cool factor here. He just kicks the shit out of Queen. And I'm honestly just looking forward to the next issue to see, the fight continue. I hope it doesn't break and go to another, fight or something like that. I just kind of want them to wrap this up. Because I'd be kind of tight if they took a pause from this just to come back and he does a little bit more of the chef's kicking.
Yeah.
Nothing cool. When he fought the wolf dude, you know what I'm saying? That Diable Dam.
Yeah, Diable
the name. That was his new move, and it was like, oh, his fucking feet on fire. He didn't do nothing special here. It was all kind of like something. It was all technical stuff. I guess nothing shows that he's stronger and thicker or nothing like that, aside from when Queen tried to hit him across the head.
Yeah.
And I guess since Queen was just literally destroying him earlier in the comic and he brushed it off like it was no big deal. He was hitting him with mad super moves. I'm not trying to downplaying the execution of the chapter.
I feel that. I'll be honest. Yeah, I know what you're saying. This
suffers from what happened with Zoro before.
Yeah, I mean, Sanji's power up, because he did receive a power up, but it is like not a big physical power up. I mean, like, you don't see anything new being happening, but something's new with Sanji. Like, it's just kind of a buff, if anything, I guess, if I were to say that. He's just gotten stronger.
Which is dope.
Yeah.
I'm not.
The best thing that I can say about it is that, given the lightning bolts, which are kind of like a signifier for Conqueror's Haki, I guess you could maybe argue that Sanji has imbued unknowingly his own Conqueror's Haki within his kicks, which I wish, if that was the case, they made it a little clearer. But I don't think that's the case, because I think that would have been made a bigger deal if Sanji was like unconsciously like wielding Conqueror's Haki of his own. I think like the lightning bolts are more just like a significance of his Germa upgrades. But as it stands, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think I agree to an extent. I don't like this chapter necessarily because of Sanji's power up or necessarily the action. I just enjoyed reading this one, and it was a combination of me not being like super wild about everything else kind of in Jump. Not that everything else in Jump was bad this week. It was just like, this is probably out of them all like my favorite to read. But
I have a word for that. You can use it if you don't have to use it moving forward, but I think it's a good one. Call it a process of elimination, RGC.
Yeah.
We don't have to make a whole thing of it.
No, I won't.
Just refer to it.
Basically.
And, yeah. I respect that. It was the same with me. I just gave it to Edge to something else.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, anyway, I don't know if I know Brian like has something held up, but I don't know if he can hear us right now. But if he wanted to say anything, I'll give him a couple seconds real fast before we move on.
I have a couple more. Though. I guess I would have really liked to see the suit. I'm a little annoyed by that.
The stealth black?
I don't know why. Yeah,
we've seen it.
That was his upgrade, And, here I go saying, these I can acknowledge that this is just how I would like for things to play out, But I thought the suit would have been dope, and it would have been cool him trying to learn how to use the suit or accept certain things, or like, I don't know. I would have liked the aesthetic change, whereas I feel like here there wasn't really much of an aesthetic change. Where with Zoro, man, the Conqueror's Haki, you could see it coming out the sword.
Yeah,
it was sick, man. But that's we're gonna see how this fight progresses. It ain't over. Queen ain't dead yet. Ain't no fucking.
Yeah, imagine he's just done.
He's fucking too much shit.
Yeah. Well, anyway. I guess that's it for One Piece. In any case, I suppose we should move onward. My Hero Academia.
One Piece was only 15 pages.
Yeah, it was very short, but at least it's not off next week. That's a relief.
Right.
But this is My Hero Academia, chapter 336, Villain. We have color pages that are pretty cool, I think. I don't know what.
I think they're really cool, except for one character.
Yeah, this is there is a little bit of a promotional thing for the new My Hero Academia movie that just came out that I didn't get to see in theaters because I don't pay for movies anymore. I have AMC A-List, and if it's not on there, I'm not going to see it.
No, I really like how everyone's animals kind of correspond.
Yeah.
With them, although there's a few I'm not sure about. Some are very straightforward, but the other ones are kind of like, eh. Like, Midoriya's being a ram. I get that. I don't understand the wolf of Bakugo. I guess that's more about his, like, attitude and personality. They gave your boy a black cat. The mind control one.
Shinso?
Which, at first, doesn't make sense. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm black. She basically runs my whole world, you know. So I guess.
Shouts out to Coco.
Best I can do. Yeah, shout out to Coco.
Kirishima has a turtle, which I
Where
like.
you at, Coco? She on a little oh, she's right here behind me. What's up?
Cute.
Literally.
Kirishima has a turtle, which I appreciate. I like turtles.
No, that fit perfectly.
Yeah.
The other one's a snow leopard. Dope. Yeah. All right. Well, enough about the color page. It was a cool color page.
Yeah.
Fuck the new guy.
We
doesn't deserve to be there.
Yeah, new guy doesn't even have a fucking animal. Oh, he does. He has like a bird.
We get some weird mascot.
Yeah, like not even a real bird. It's the least realistic animal in the whole thing. Fuck off, Roddy. I think that's your name. But anyway, this chapter starts off with training that we don't get to see really. It's Bakugo, training and stuff, and then they explain kind of what they're doing, instead of just showing us. Except for Todoroki, we actually get to see him training both sides of his quirk, which is kind of interesting, and I like the idea behind that.
It looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Has a little his JC going on.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Mineta is just pulling off the balls in his head constantly because that's his training. And they're just like, it feels like they're kind of going over the stuff that we already know and we've talked about over the last few chapters, is that, finding them like being, this is going to be harder than it seems because there are like 3 reasons. The first of which, old nutsack face is the world champ in hide and seek, which I guess I appreciated them calling him that.
Yeah, it made sense. I mean, I think Mr. Lima Bean is better, but that's
yeah,
okay.
Mr. Lima Bean is definitely a better reference for sure.
You ever squeezed a stress ball before?
Yeah, I have one actually somewhere here.
All right, you know how it looks like as soon as you release it.
It's him. It's all for
that's
one.
His face.
Yeah, and they explain again that Shigaraki's body is not complete. And the third one is that they're the ones with the finger on the trigger, I guess. So, even though he might have lost that search quirk, they still get to make the opening move. So
yeah, they could still cause mass panic and hysteria and destroy shit. And force the heroes into action.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, Midoriya's like, anyway, if nothing else, we can choose how we enter this fight. I'd better join the search, too. And he does like, don't you mean we? He asked the kids if he could just take a quick stroll, and they're like, okay, we got to get this plot moving somehow. And we cut back to Hagakure, who was teased as the traitor before, but as we almost called, kinda, we were close. We were close. I'll give us partial credit. We were close. You know what? This made me so mad because when you say when you have something in your head but you don't say it, and then when you say it's like, I know I was thinking that, nobody believes you. That's how I feel like what's about to happen, because in my head I'm like, what if she's just watching the person who's the real traitor and it's not really her?
Oh wow,
and I didn't want to say that because I knew that people would be like, you didn't think that. I'm like, I thought it. Nobody's gonna believe me.
We threw out a bunch of names last week.
Yeah.
And this character was definitely one of the names we threw out. But I'll admit that this wasn't in my thought pattern.
Well, we'll get into it because I think there's
a
reason.
Let's get into it.
Okay. So
enough pressure.
Hagakure is not the traitor because she's watching the real traitor. As we zoom in, we realize that the real traitor is Aoyama. Big 2-page spread reveal.
Guy.
Yeah, both his parents are just like pleading with him to continue to follow with his orders, and we learn why this is happening. The reason being is that when Aoyama was really young, he didn't have any quirks. He was also quirkless, just like Midoriya. And he didn't want to go through life like that because he was afraid of being different. So his parents reached out to All For One somehow, and he granted him the silliest of his quirks, I guess. He said, "You could have my goofiest quirk, belly button laser." And yeah, he was stoked about that. And at that point, Hagakure runs off to try to find somebody to tell them the news. And Aoyama goes into his whole spiel about like how I had to play my part right to avoid suspicion, always putting on a brave face to smother my guilty conscience. When All For One was finally caught in Kamino, for a moment I mistakenly let myself believe that maybe I was free just to have true friends. But he made it out and he had to continue his act. And
Right.
Now his parents are like, if we stop following his orders, who knows what he'll do for us? He'll probably kill his parents. And that's when Midoriya is seen with Hagakure in the background as he's hearing all of this. And Midoriya is like, "Oh, Hagakure just told me what she heard, that you might be the traitor in our midst, Aoyama." And the parents are trying to play it off like they just give this whole expositional spiel out loud in the forest.
Right.
And like you just didn't spill the who, what, where, when, and why of the whole thing.
Everything. Let me remind you, Aoyama, of this information you already know.
Oh my God. We'll get into it. We'll get into this. I got some thoughts. So yeah, he's like, "Oh, Midoriya," and Midoriya says like, "You've been looking so gloomy lately. Only you. I thought something must be wrong, so I came looking for you here." That's when Aoyama kind of confesses that USJ and then the forest. Each time I led them to us. Do you hear me, Midoriya? I am a despicable villain, and that's where the chapter ends. This was the audience really good chapter of the week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah, same for me.
What?
RGC.
This was your RGC?
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
At 2, bro?
Yeah,
Yeah, you get
send a message
Yeah.
or something. But I'm not gonna just automatically give it for Brian because he didn't mention anything for One Piece.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's between those two. All right. I gave this chapter RGC for a specific reason, the edge over One Piece, and that was the impact of the clues that they left. I was really nervous that like whatever the reveal would be, it would be something that like wasn't really built on throughout the series and was gonna just be worked on from there. Which I was optimistic about. I was like, all right, this is really interesting. Maybe he can work backwards and connect a few things. But when they showed the I know pieces, right, on top of the fucking fact that I just was watching the anime, and when they was in the forest, Dabi walked right past them. He knew he was there, and didn't bother him.
I didn't notice that. I mean, it's been a while since I read through. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just watching the anime, so I was just like, all right, this was planted, and I have the same feeling where it's like, wow, like I think that he's gonna have a lot more to build on from this, and this, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm interested to see what direction it's gonna go, but now it's just that added extra layer that I appreciate. Because we had completely forgot about that when someone was like, I know, and nobody had any idea like what the message was supposed to be. We all thought it meant like, oh, I know that you're All For One or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because they had a conversation and he felt guilty. So he left that and said, I know, meaning like he knows what happened with the villains.
Mm-hmm.
That was clever. And I'll give it to Horikoshi for that.
Mm.
Well done.
That's a good
To be
explanation.
fair, I did say Aoyama was one of the
We did
could have
too.
been one of the traitors.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I did say like that was one of the characters that was mentioned, but that you had said it yourself, but we wasn't definitive about it, you know, so we can't really like
Yeah. All right.
can't call that out too much.
I don't know. I mean, what you're saying makes sense. At first, I did not like this chapter at all. I was actually kind of annoyed by this whole thing. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear.
And look, the new information that like the new perspective that you brought to light, that Dabi just kind of like walked past Aoyama. I never remembered that, so maybe it was built up as much as I did. But I know like my initial reading of this is there's a moment where I was just like, I feel cheated right now, you know, like because we had this chapter a while back with the cheese pieces and all that stuff, where it was a red herring, where we were at that moment we were like, oh shit, Aoyama's the traitor, you know, and then we got like 2 chapters after that assuring us that he was not the traitor, which is kind of unfair, you know, like it's we have no.
I don't remember that. How did it ensure that it wasn't Aoyama?
Remember, like, they even explained. I remember vaguely that they even explained why he left that there, like the cheese pieces thing. And I don't know if Brian remembers better than me, but I remember there was like this small 2 chapter arc dedicated to like Aoyama not being able to fit in and being afraid of being different, and Midoriya just kind of like inviting him into the group, and I think like. I remember coming out of that arc being like, oh, well, I guess that was just like a red herring and Aoyama's not really the traitor. Or like that was the purpose of it, is for Horikoshi to just kind of like remind us that there is a traitor around and this may be the resolution for it. But that's how I came out. Maybe I read it wrong and maybe I'm like misinterpreting it, but that's how I felt cheated. Is like, well, there's no way for us to really know because you actively went to tell us that he was not the traitor for sure, and you doubled around and been like, well, he was the traitor. I fooled you all.
I mean, you can still interpret that little episode as a cry for help, you know?
Maybe. Hey,
like almost. I understand how you feel, and I guess maybe I don't even remember that. So maybe had I remembered that and had those same feelings, I would have been on the same page with you. But
yeah, and maybe
this is so funny right now. Actually, like how
it is. It is probably just me like misremembering or not reading things well. But yeah, I totally remember kind of feeling that way at the end of it all, because it was a big old ominous thing that turned out to be nothing, but now it's just something again. But
it was so obvious. I don't know. I thought that was.
Hey, I could be.
I
think I'm
why
wrong.
he did it.
I think I could be wrong, and this is like my initial thoughts on reading this. One thing that I found interesting, though, is that when Midoriya found him in the forest and he talked about how, like, I thought there must be something wrong, so I came out here looking for you. The next panel is Aoyama just freezing, and then you see, like, his eye, that panel with his eye saying, yes, only me. And I'm wondering if he's just, like, also taking the falls so it takes the scent off of other people.
Mm-hmm. That is, I actually did not think about it.
If that's the case, then hell yeah.
That's pretty sharp. I mean, I still believe after all of this is said, I still believe that there's. I think Aoyama is still no, not Aoyama. Kaminari is still gonna, a mole. But I do believe if he's not, if not him, there is like someone else, like more than just him.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a combination of quirks. Like there's a combination of quirks that work together well to inform the villains. Like Kaminari's quirk still is pretty good for communication to enemies.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but that was my initial thing, and maybe I'm being a little harsh on it. And that if that thing is if that Dabi thing happened, which I'm sure it did, I'm not saying it didn't, but I'm like, maybe that does just kind of shed a light. It also hurts that like we didn't get a whole lot of hints during, like, when I think of like Attack on Titan, it's one of those things where I can like probably look back and find the little crumbs that would have led to certain twists being revealed. I don't know if I'll be able to do the same thing with My Hero Academia, because the idea of the traitor only comes up very sporadically in very long leaps and bounds. So it's kind of hard to build up that mystery, or like accept that this is the whole mystery in and of itself. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be like definitely off base here. Please let us know what you think. Write down in the comments. Is this a solid twist, or am I bugging? I could be bugging. I'm probably being harsh. But in terms of the art, I thought the art was pretty good as usual. Another thing that annoyed me, and this is something I won't back down for, on a technical level, I think the reveal of this was really sloppy. It's a lot of show don't tell. Why is his parents just fucking, they're yelling about their backstory as loud as they possibly can in the middle of the fucking woods. It's like, Horikoshi, you have as many chapters as you want to really like flesh this out. Midoriya is about to be on his way, so you could just kind of explain that to him if you really feel that way. It feels off that his parents would just like, it's unnatural. It's just kind of clumsy. There's definitely easier and better ways to kind of like give off this information. Maybe get Aoyama just a flashback chapter. Why not? He's one of the protagonists of the story. I imagine he's not going to, like, Midoriya is not going to let him be a bad guy. I feel like Midoriya is going to just try to convince him to be on their side. But who knows?
Right, he's not going to beat him down for his wrongs and arrest him. Right, he's going to try to talk. Yeah, right. Like, he's going to try to make peace with it and say, hey, listen, just like let us know what you know and we'll figure this out, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. And, you know, I would accept that. I think, like, you know, in terms of what we wanted from My Hero Academia, in which, like, the development of the supporting cast, having a flashback for Aoyama, I wouldn't have minded it, you know. And his story is compelling enough. You know, the idea of being different is a very compelling one. It's another mirror of Midoriya, a quirkless person who took the easy way out and just like went in search of someone to give him his quirk instead of, in theory, earning it like Midoriya did. So, you know, it could have just been another mirror of like who Midoriya was. This is like a little.
I think that's what explained the message really well to me, in my opinion. I think that's why he did that, and then he spent that whole chapter, I guess, quote, you know, like throwing us off. Because it made sense that he would cover it up, because he can't willingly tell him, but maybe he was hoping because he felt that connection with Midoriya. You know,
definitely.
So, but I do agree with you. I think that. All right, all of this with the exception. I'm going to just say this first. This is all with the exception that, you know, the next chapter could be a flashback. The next chapter could be some type of real huge in depth. This could be the start of an arc, of a fucking 6, 7, 8 chapter long arc of events that led to this moment. And you know what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know what Horikoshi has planned. So we can only talk about what is, right? You know, at least that's the perspective I'm going to go with right now. No, where I agree with you. Like, why just spring it up on us like that, and then have all right? So maybe his parents is out there because they're all at UA, and it led to this being a little bit sloppier with the execution. But why the timing? This was. What if they didn't decide that this conversation? What if this girl didn't walk past? Does that mean that all of the heroes would have failed and they would have went through? So you're telling me that all of this was like this whole moment that's going to change the entire course of the story is happened by a chance?
Yeah,
that's not enough for me.
Yeah, and that's the rough thing, you know, because I feel like we always.
I hope. You know.
No. I totally agree. Is, you know, you don't want. You don't want
that way. So I agree with you, and that's just how I look at it too. Like,
yeah, there's a, you know, it's not a
still my RGC though.
For sure, I agree. I think
I still give him his credit for the setup, and I still am hopeful for the next few chapters.
Yeah, I think there's definitely merit to what you're saying. There's definitely merit to this chapter. I guess like all of my problems are execution level, because I don't have a problem with Aoyama being the traitor. I don't necessarily even have a problem with the traitor being a predictable thing, because you can do twists that you can see coming and still pull them off effectively. We've seen that all the time.
Right. It's all about.
Yeah. Right. It's all about technique, writing technique. And I feel like this is uncharacteristically sloppy for Horikoshi. And I feel like we do this a lot where we start off hating arcs. Like, I don't know if it's like Horikoshi just has a penchant for not starting arcs well, but ending them pretty good. Or like middling them and ending them pretty good. I feel like that's kind of like a pattern I've seen. Because
he's just addicted to proving people wrong. He's just like, oh, you think this is ass? You think this is ass? Well, I'm about to show you. This shit is fire as fuck, bitch.
Well, if that's
you gonna like this shit.
You wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, if that's the case, I wish you would.
Whole lot.
If that's the case, I wish you would just fucking stop. We get it. You're a genius, bro. Can we please just have quality storytelling all the way through?
I think he's just testing himself. He's like, how ass can I start this?
How deep a hole?
How bad can I fix something?
How deep a hole can I dig myself out of? How low beneath the earth can I start before I climb back to the heavens?
How mid can this get?
Yeah. Brian, wait, so does that mean you agree to a degree that this is kind of an ass beginning to
I didn't like it at first. I was like, oh my god, typical Horikoshi, pick out. He's literally...
Brian, I need you to talk your shit.
Right now.
I love it. Look.
This is typical Horikoshi.
Like, all right. So the only reason why I felt this way this time is because, like, I was talking about how Horikoshi got his fake outs, right? He's like, oh no, not really. And then it's like, okay, chapter after chapter, you're gonna be pulling this shit now, dude. He's literally becoming the M. Night Shyamalan of fucking manga.
Dude, I mean,
he keeps with these fake outs.
Honestly, that's probably true. So wait, Brian, you agree on a technical level? This is fucking weird. This is not.
I didn't like it at first, but when I thought about it, it made sense. It was just weird, a weird way of doing it.
Yeah, it's a weird execution.
It's just like, gotcha.
There's nothing wrong with the content. It's just weird execution, man. It's simple. It's the simple things. It's like the fundamentals. It's the biggest lesson.
2 chapters from now, this chapter is gonna make sense.
I fucking hope so. I hope he pulls his magic again. I hope he pulls his magic again, because we started that Star and Stripes arc like, oh my god, and then we ended it like, yo, Star and Stripe might be the greatest character Horikoshi's ever created. But it is funny, man.
And then mid-ass Aoyama reveal.
Yeah.
What to follow that up?
Dude, I mean, come on. I wish, like, fundamentals, it's the biggest lesson you learn in Space Jam 2, Fundamentals win championships. Horikoshi.
Is that what I didn't watch it.
Well, spoiler alert, that's the big lesson.
Historically bad. Okay, fundamentals.
Well, also, so is Space Jam 1. If you look back at Space Jam 1, it's not a cinematic masterpiece. What are people comparing it to?
Fuck out of here.
I loved it. Hey, I love it.
No Clockwork Orange.
I love it with all my heart. It's not a good movie. Neither of them are. What are we doing here? I love them both. I like Space Jam 2.
Artist subjective, Chris. Artist subjective.
I like Space Jam 2. I like the second one.
You know what? RGC this chapter.
Of course, Brian. You see, like...
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Not me. It gets
I'm
demerits.
Still stunned.
It gets demerits.
I'm still stunned at Brian's take.
This arc could be fire from here on
out.
out.
You agree on a technical level that what? What was it you said?
It was it was weird. It was just fucking weird.
Chapter. It was just a weird way of doing the chapter.
Well, here's the thing: you can't give.
No, I want to hear what Chris said. What was the quote again?
You could agree on a technical level that this chapter was fucking weird.
Oh, okay.
No, but look, I can't. You guys are giving it credit for what this arc might be because of Horikoshi's track record. I'm giving it on like week to week basis. This chapter was fucking weird.
Hold on. I'm gonna make a bet. Okay.
I'm sure this arc is gonna be fire, Brian.
No. Okay. So from now on, if every chapter gets better and better, not even by a little bit. If every chapter just keeps getting better, I will give it an RGC every week.
You do it anyway, Brian.
If it goes bad for even 1 week, I will be more critical of My Hero Academia.
Damn, Brian. It has to be really bad for you to say anything.
Really bad.
Look at him go.
Wow. So you know what's crazy? Just a few weeks ago, we were buying we was buying heavy on the Horikoshi stock, and now it's going on, man. We all selling. Nobody's. I'm holding.
I am holding.
That's why I signed in. That's why I signed in.
No. Here's the thing. You can hold your stock, and then I acknowledge that it's going down for sure, but still hold. You know, that's what they did. That's what those heroes did back in the day. They held. Those heroes in the battleground. They held.
They may have lost all their money, but they didn't lose their pride.
And you know what? AMC's doing great right now.
Oh, that's good.
I'm honestly like, maybe I should have bought stock.
Good. I'm happy.
At that point, I'm just like, I should have bought stock. Now that it's doing okay.
You should have bought that stock.
I should have taken the dip. I did not. I should have gone diamond hands.
Oh, you didn't buy the dip.
I'm a fool. I didn't go to the moon.
You're the one that sent me the video.
I could have gone to the moon. I did not.
Yeah, well, you know who didn't go to the moon with this chapter? Horikoshi. But it was still cool.
It was fine.
What does that say about One Piece, though? If I gave this the RGC,
I don't know, man.
All of that said,
y'all are wildin'.
Do you question my taste moving forward?
I don't question your taste.
My opinion.
No, I don't question your taste, but I do question.
You question my critical thinking opinion.
No, I guess I'm. I don't know what I'm questioning. To be fair, I don't think you have bad, because I think you made very valid points, and you may have turned me on a couple things, because I was furious reading this chapter.
That's my panel of the week.
That is a great panel. Look
at that, man. Whoa.
I was reading.
I didn't even feel the emotion that much, but I was just like, I feel like I get what he was doing. He was just like, boom. Just like Brian said, yeah, hold that upside your fucking head, nigga. You thought it was.
It's like, oh, y'all think it's her? Y'all been thinking it was her for a minute now, huh?
It's not fair. That's the thing. This whole
thing.
That's
the face of all the Aoyama fans, like reading this, like page by page.
All this shit. Josh only really named one real, like you can look back and be like, damn, clue. That's why it's not fair. But it
impressed me because he doesn't do it ever.
That's why it's not fucking fair, because big page spread of Hagakure behind a tree, as All for One says, I have friends everywhere, and we're all supposed to be like dumb because we fell for that. Because we said, here, look who I told you it was.
I don't feel dumb for that. I don't feel dumb for that at all.
I don't either. But that we're supposed to feel dumb. He's supposed.
Well, then
I think it's just him.
The dumb one.
I think it's just him subtly getting back at all the people making theories and being right. He's like, oh, y'all guess Dobby, huh?
Imagine
you guys guess Dobby, huh?
Imagine that. That's so funny. Imagine how he really wanted it to be Hagakure, and then he kept watching everyone guess his theories correctly, and just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm changing it midway. It's Aoyama now.
Changing the camera angle.
All this editor, like, yo.
It's this guy standing next to this guy.
Damn this YouTube theorist. I'm taking him down. With my
not through copyright strikes.
With my brilliant writing.
Nobody will take you seriously ever again.
Well, that's
Holding back with his quirk this whole time. That's what I thought. I think they're about to fight, yo. And he's about to Kamehameha wave blast them.
Yeah, he had more. It's going to be just like Kanjuro. You see, Kanjuro was a great reveal. Because now you could, like, with Kanjuro, it was like, yeah, he had shitty drawings, but he was using his non-dominant hand, and now he has, like, his actual hand. He's fucking drawing well. That was a twist.
Yeah, kind of wild.
And those had way better hints.
It was really petty.
There was, and this is, like, something I realized when Mark talked about it, because I haven't read over Wano back. But when he talked about that twist, he was like, when I read back and I realized that they've left subtle hints that it was Kanjuro the whole time. because every time the samurai linked up with each other, they were so happy to see each other. They all like started crying. But Kanjuro, the first thing he said to him was, "How's Momonosuke doing?" Just checking in on the status of Momonosuke. He's not very emotional.
Wow.
And every time that they relied on his drawings, he made a shitty drawing to make their job harder.
Right.
That's how you do it, Horikoshi.
Wow.
Anyway.
Way less impressed.
As you should be.
It is what it is.
I'm using One Piece for good to put down other artists. I'm joking though.
Chris.
I'm just
you on my time right now. You was how I was feeling a little while ago. I like it.
I do not like egregiously technically unsound writing.
Egregious. Should I change my RGC? I'm not changing it. Let's move on. Come on.
All right, let's move on.
It is what it is.
Let's move on.
Shout out to Brian.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 167, Tokyo #1 Colony Part 7. Last we left
This
off.
was a weird ass chapter.
Oh, was it?
That's all.
This was the weird ass chapter?
Yeah.
All right.
It was a weird chapter, bro.
Fine. We'll see. Anyway, so we started last we left off with Jujutsu Kaisen. We had Itadori finally convincing Higuruma to, let him use his points. Essentially, he couldn't give him his points yet, but Higuruma has over 100 points, which allows him to create a new rule in the culling game. So he did what Itadori asked him. He basically made a new rule that would make the points transferable between players. And Kogane accepts the transfer of a number of points of their choosing to another player has been added to the rules of the culling game. I didn't notice this at first reading, but Itadori's like, phew. This is like a funny relief panel.
Yeah. You didn't notice that?
I didn't notice. It's such a small panel in the grand scheme of things. I just wanted to read the rest of the dialogue, but I was like, nah, that's funny. And he's just, after all this, he was just like, that worked out. So Higuruma continues to give one of his points to Itadori, one of his remaining points, so that Itadori would not be subject to curse technique removal for 19 days. Because one of the rules is that if you don't earn any points within 19 days, you're dead, basically. And with that, Higuruma leaves. And Itadori is like, Higuruma, what are you doing? What are you going to do now? If you don't mind, will you help us? And Higuruma's like, I'm too broken. Too broken for this story. I can't hang out that much. I'll probably be back, but I can't.
I'll pull up when you need me. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, he basically explains that his 2 leftover points were actually from killing the judge and the prosecutor from that case in his flashback. So after the barrier opens, he plans on turning himself in. But until then, he'll ponder his course.
Niggas deserved it.
Sure, but
they grossly misused.
What?
They grossly misused.
Yeah. They grossly mistrialed.
Misused.
Misused?
Yes.
All right.
What did they grossly misuse?
Their power.
Everything. But yes, their power.
Yeah, okay. They grossly misused.
It's profound, bro. Believe it.
Hey, I mean, I can't absorb it. The depth of what you just said escapes me, eludes me. So yeah, Higuruma's like, I'm out. And plus, if I stay with you, I'll just hate myself more because you're so fucking good and I'm a dick. I guess he's just like, damn, I met a real one today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's like he got smacked in the face with. I need to put my thoughts together. Itadori was what he figured as an ideal person, something that he kind of strived to be, even if he never really said it out loud or thought about it that way.
Mhm.
You know, he wanted a justice system where truly, you know, where true criminals get punished and, you know, honest, good people don't.
Yeah, even if
You know,
these
plain and simple.
even if these honest, good people, in theory, probably did something wrong, or at least innocent people wouldn't be subjected to being guilty despite being innocent. It's kind of like interesting when you really think about it. Itadori is kind of like the very personification of what Higuruma's fighting for. You know, it's just a good person
Exactly.
who didn't do
Yeah.
something and has put, in Itadori's case, himself on trial for actions that were out of his control. So there was a lot of like significance symbolically to that. It was a lot like that kid who was accused of killing someone when all he did was return a knife that was used to kill somebody, but not by him. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you wanted a good...
No. I wanted to keep listening to what you were saying. You know, I actually forgot what I was going to say, but hopefully it'll come back up.
Yeah,
as we read further.
please let it come back. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. It's probably a thought better saved for the end of the chapter anyway.
Yeah. We now cut to condescending applause. And it is funny. It's just like kind of an 80s movie, like, not bad. You pass. And Megumi's like, what? And this new guy, what's his face? Reggie. Reggie goes on to explain that, like, you're...
Doflamingo.
Yeah, Doflamingo Jujutsu Kaisen. He says, that's enough. Your Shikigami is sufficient. I can see you're strong. Otherwise, I'd just kill you. You should join us. How much do you know about the culling game? And Megumi comes up with some bullshit because he doesn't want to give him too much information, basically explaining that it's a ritual for using the cursed energy of players inside the barriers to take Japanese people to the other side so they're no longer human.
Why did he specify Japanese people?
Because the culling game specifically is like focused on Japan as a country. Because this is the biggest.
But there's only Japanese people there?
Well, in theory, like, the idea is that, like, Japan is the epicenter of Jujutsu still. Like, Jujutsu is practiced all around the world, but, like, the big epicenter is in Japan specifically.
Right.
So what he's saying is that he's trying to use Japanese people because they are in the epicenter. Ideally, like, they probably have the highest quality of curse techniques, domains, whatever.
Oh.
So the idea is that Kenjaku's just trying to use the innate ability of Japan in Jujutsu to turn them into curses, I guess. It's some bullshit that Megumi just kind of came up with on the fly to avoid telling this guy what the fuck the deal is. But Reggie just cuts through the bullshit. He's like, do you know Kenjaku? And he's like, I knew it. A sorcerer with a
Yes,
connection.
I know Kenjaku.
Yeah. He's like a sorcerer with a connection to Kenjaku. And Reggie is basically like, I think what you just said about using players' curse energy is a bluff, or rather for a second or third plan. And he says, I think that...
I like the way he said that, because he put it in such a way that, like, he was like, look, he's like, you either bluffing or you are telling the truth, but that's definitely not what's going on. That may be something for later. Yeah, I just like that.
Yeah.
That was. He does this a lot with the characters talking. I never hated this part.
Yeah, he writes great dialogue, I guess.
Yeah.
But he explains that the reason he thinks of that is the number of players, the differing skills of players, and the barrier rules. So he explains that, suppose there are 1,000 players equally divided amongst the 10 colonies. That means each colony has 100. But among the players, there are people like Kashimo, Higuruma, who are much stronger. And those two alone have already weeded out 60 sorcerers. Each barrier probably has one person like that at least. So, basically, he's thinking like, Megumi starts explaining, is like, so the strong weed out the weak early on. So you're saying this game will reach a deadlock quickly. And he's like, yeah, it pretty much has already been that way here. So, he explains that when the transferal of individuals enter a colony, the transferal is a way to spread them out, but primarily for stimulating early second awakening in modern day sorcerers. So it's basically forcing people to achieve their highest potential, and some people die doing so in the process, apparently. So if the goal was using players' energy, a lengthy melee with as many sorcerers as possible would be ideal. But since some of them even die at the entrance of the game, that can't be
right. Through a built-in mechanic from the jump before any rules are made. So this is purely the intention from the the person who made the game.
Yeah, exactly. And he explains that you can be certain that Kenjaku will drop a bomb when only the strong remain, and then the colon game will have served its purpose. And we cut to Kenjaku, who, if you notice, his scar is healed up a little more. It's not as all the way around. It's lightening up. I think that's a change.
I didn't really notice that.
Yeah, because
I just thought maybe he was drawn a little differently. But yeah, I'd have to look at a comparison. But I believe you.
Yeah, and it turns out Kenjaku's actually in China. These are Chinese characters.
Yeah, I knew it, but what?
And look,
I wish I knew what they were saying. I guess
I know what they're saying because I looked it up. I'm like, somebody must have translated what they're saying. And they don't say anything substantial. The first speech bubble says welcome, and or I think not welcome. Maybe I think they mentioned is please sit down. And Kenjaku says in return, "Thank you so much for having me." Something like that, something along those lines. And then we cut back to Reggie explaining the whole thing. He's saying, "I don't know what the bomb will be, but at the time, I'm preparing strong allies and storing up points." And that's when Megumi's like, I have some questions. She isn't strong. And Reggie's like, that's ridiculous. What are you talking about? She lures people in and tracks them down. And Megumi's like, and when you're done using her, you'll kill her for points. He's like, how could you say that? I would never.
Yeah, I don't know why he chose to violate.
Yeah. I mean,
he isn't strong. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to call him out.
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
Yeah. And Megumi is like, how lucky for you. Do you and your allies total 100 points? He's like, yes, of course. And he explains, Megumi then demands, a new rule is going to allow players to give each other points. Give me all of yours, and I'll consider joining you. And that's when Reggie says, negotiation breakdown, and a fucking goon pulls up from behind and tries to attack Megumi. But Megumi uses his shadow powers to warp through his devil dog and just fling this dude off of the balcony, and then used Nue to just body slam him into the ground from 20 stories high. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the flying creature.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and this guy's down for the count. He even goes like, ugh. So I guess he's alive? But
yeah, he's not dead.
Yeah, but then we cut over to
fucked up though.
Yeah, then we cut over to Devil Dog, who has 2 knives coming up from his jaw, and I'm like, not the dog.
Oh man, isn't this your best Shikigami or something? Oh, bro.
I think Nue has really come into the clutch for him. I think Nue might be the best.
Right.
Nue is a clutch ass fucking Shikigami. But anyway, he says, "Oh, I get it. You were holding back. You want our point, so you can't kill us. If you don't fight to kill, you'll wind up dead." And then all of a sudden, this eye comes down flying from the top of the balcony, it looks like. And then it looks like it explodes, I guess. Because all you see it flash. And then you don't see the end result because we cut away from it. But that's where the chapter ends. This was I really like this chapter. There was a lot going on. I think Reggie is an interesting character more now as we're getting into him. He seems like a smart guy. And I'd like to think that this is probably, they're maybe building him up to just kind of stick around for a while. Because he seems to have a solid grasp of what's happening to a degree. I don't know.
He definitely knows who Kenjaku is. That's a big deal. I
Yeah, that is a big deal, honestly. Not many people know. I As to what his fucking power is, it still has to do with those receipts he's attached to himself. So I don't know. I don't know what it could possibly
It's
be.
cursed.
Yeah.
Cursed ability. So I remember what I was thinking earlier, just real quick. Something that I thought about with Itadori's situation with the trial, right? So I don't think it was. I think before we were talking about it, like Itadori, he owned up to it because technically it was him doing it. With even though Sukuna took over his body or whatever, but I think the point was that he was the one that ate the finger in the first place. He decided to make that decision. You know what I'm saying? For better or worse, in order to do what he needed to do. And he's, from the beginning, he's owning up to that. And I think that's what that's what triggered him. It was because he knew the facts that someone took over control of his body, but I think he really respected that, he's being completely honest. And in the justice system, fessing up for something, if you admit to something, you're getting the punishment, period. Where really people make mistakes and, we have to learn from them and move forward. And if you lock them up for a large portion of their life without any type of enrichment for them to better themselves, you know what I'm saying? Which is what the situation is in jails. I'm pretty sure the same in Japan that it is in America. Mm-hmm. It's just not helpful. And I think I just wanted to give a little bit more insight into that situation at Higuruma and why he felt so triggered. I think because I had to think about that for a little while. Because he seemed a little annoyed by it. Remember what was it he said? He said, I had to somehow he has to get away from him or he'll do something. I don't know. What was it he said? I want to go back to the page.
Oh, that he said that he'll end up hating himself more if he hangs around.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why, because, I feel like he had kind of lost sight of that, especially since he had, let his rage get to the point that he murdered people. Mm-hmm. It was pretty deep.
Yeah. There was a lot of depth with their
and I hope he comes back.
I feel like this was kind of a little bit the gentle criminal of this series, Just that this weird, villain, but not really a villain, who learns more about himself through fighting the main character in a way. There's a little bit of a parallel story where one is kind of like the answer to a flaw that the character might have. I don't know. I felt that kind of vibe from it. Where
I can respect that. It's interesting, using the word villain in this series, man. I mean, Kenjaku's a villain, for sure, right? He's evil. Yeah. I mean, he just wants to. He's willing to let so many people suffer just to achieve his goal, And life is trivial to him. I think that's kind of like the essence of evil, not caring about others, which is ultimately not caring about life. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. All the other people in the series weren't, I guess aside from Mahito, they weren't, no one's really a straight up villain. Everyone's kind of complicated and has a lot of layers to them, right? And we've commented on that, whenever we spotlight on a character and whatever they're focusing in on the arc. But is he a villain? All right, this is what happened. He lashed out. He got hold of some type of power, and he as he was in the midst of lashing out and having a nervous breakdown, I don't think he knew he had the cursed ability. I think he got so mad, and as he reacted, the cursed ability came about. I don't know. I don't remember them getting too specific about it, but that's how I took it. Mm-hmm. That it was a simultaneous reaction. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it was a mistake because of the raw emotions he felt. He felt justified in what he was doing. It's wrong to murder people, but he felt like this was something that was such a grave injustice that he had to do about it. And he made a mistake and killed somebody. I think you deserve to be judged by the law and maybe, do jail time or something, but maybe, locked away for life for making a mistake. Someone could learn from the mistakes in that situation and try to be a better person. I don't know. Maybe this isn't the space to talk about something like that, but man, I keep saying it, but this is a very deep character, and I really, really hope he comes back in a more than just I'm helping in a fight, you know?
Yeah. No,
Damn.
I agree. I mean,
this was cool. This was just a real, like, a ha. Let's sprinkle this real quick. That was deep. That was a lot of subtext, man.
Yeah. It was just a good story, which was really cool. And I appreciate it very much. It's very well written. I mean, you know, where Higuruma stands here.
I'm sorry, man. He let go. He lashed out, got all of that power, and then said, fuck it. And Itadori checked him, reminded him, you know what I'm saying? Like, what he even got mad about in the first place, what he's supposed to represent.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why he's saying, like, man, I'm going to fess up and turn myself in, because he still believes in that justice. That's not him being complete. I don't think it's him, like, being completely regretful. I think it's just him believing in what he says. So I can kind of be a little bit more at peace with that. I was a little tight.
Yeah.
And, you know, when I first seen this chapter, and, man, I think with all of that insight, I might have given this to RGC. I've been flip-flopping a lot, man. I'm like a cat, bro.
Yeah.
Things am I in and out?
Yeah. No, I agree. I felt the same way. I was like reading it, talking about this again. I was just like, fuck. This probably could have been the RGC instead. But we've made our choices. But this last little mini arc of Jujutsu Kaisen was pretty great. Hopefully the quality can continue with Reggie, this new character. And maybe we'll get a little something deep out of him. But at this point, I suppose we should move onward.
Right.
Undead Unuck. This is Undead Unuck Chapter 90, You Negating Lugs. Color pages, which is nice. I feel like they're missing...
It was really nice.
They're missing an Under guy. There's someone here from Under who's not on here. Well, there's the girl for sure that Fuko fucked up, but there's a dude with the hat, with the JoJo hair and the hat, whose name was JoJo. But whatever, it's neither here nor there.
Oh no, wait. Whatever, keep going. I'm gonna keep looking at this picture.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. In any case, this is Undead Unuck. Last we left off, Andy was just summoning the power of friendship itself to come down and help with defeating Spring. They're not going to play his fucking games. They're just going to try to loophole their way into defeating Spring once and for all. So, you know, Under and Union alike have all assembled to be like, let's fucking do it and negate these rules. He yells out, Titania robes. And he gives everybody these... Tatiana gives everybody these robes. Top doesn't have his because he just tossed it when he transformed. So I guess he's going to share a robe with Ishin. I don't know why they need these robes. I don't... Oh, no, wait. He explains it. The scientist guy... He explains that it's his creation. It's a cherry tree transformation prevention robe.
That's nice.
Yeah, very convenient, but that's whatever. Okay. You have the one thing that just stops the biggest threat from this guy. Fair. Anyway, so they're about to do this whole is like just how it looks like, just how it looks. Things are wicked sick. And he explains like, whoa, that thing is huge. Why didn't you kill it before it turned into that? It's like, I couldn't. It protects itself. You can't hurt it while the game is being played. But, you know, if you use someone as a go-between, then you could actually hurt him. So, you know, the whole plan is to like open Spring up and send Fuko into its core. So I guess Fuko could put some more unluck onto Spring and defeat him once and for all. So, yeah, Rip is thinking about this whole thing. And he's like, there is another way to beat Spring. And he immediately just charges Andy using his blade thing in a really cool panel. I like this panel like a lot. There's a weird amount of detail and shading in this that is like pretty sick.
Yeah.
But Andy blocks him with his katana. It's pretty cool. And Latla's like, Rip, what are you doing? He's like, killing Fuko. Cash. He's
duh.
Yeah, he says, if Fuko dies, then the game will end. Spring will lose its protection, and we'll be able to attack that thing directly. So, why not do this?
I'm like, damn, bro, fuck this guy. Y'all had a whole arc together. You still mad?
Yeah, always mad.
They turned you into a grown man again. Maybe you know what? I would be tight. Don't you wish you could go back to childhood? Well, no. He didn't go back in time. He just became a child again. I would be dumb tight.
Yeah, if you were just like stuck in a 10-year-old body with all your knowledge.
What are you going to do, though? Like, just...
Nothing.
But you're not going to have the right... Your brain's not going to be developed.
No,
so you're not going to really have that knowledge.
He had his adult body. He had his adult brain, I mean.
You're right. That doesn't make sense.
Why?
That doesn't make sense. Because now your brain works. Your brain is different. It grows and it gains the memories, You know what? I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know. Not a biologist. Not a... Yeah, I won't study that shit.
Well, I'll read up on it by next chapter. I expect a paper on memories regressing your brain if you turn 5.
Man, I already got to write a under 400 word letter essay
for
the next World Trigger chapter.
Oh, yeah, you do. I forgot about that. You could have not said nothing. Now I'm expecting one.
Under 400 words?
Under 400 words. It could be 2 words.
Yep. Stole the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say 10.
Yeah. Oh, 10 words. Wow. That's really pushing yourself.
Yeah, a whole sentence.
Yeah. So, anyway, as Rip is like, yo, I'm going to kill this bitch. Andy's like, sick. That's the stuff. He's like, keep pace and hit me with your ability. Don't hit Fuko. Take it out on me. Give me everything you got. As, I guess, Andy jumps off of the building. So basically, Huiz explains that like Undead Unuck, looking at those two makes me think that they will be able to make a real difference for us.
And Billy's like, bitch, whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right.
Hey, whatever.
Shut up, Huiz. Whatever your name is.
Right. As soon as we finish smoking Spring, we out of here.
Yeah.
And nothing has changed.
Yeah. Rip tries to hit Spring, but it doesn't work because, it just doesn't affect him because of the game rules. And then all of a sudden, the big power pole extend thing happens as Mui and Shen just use their staff to hit Spring through Andy. So, yeah, that worked a little bit. I guess he is hurt a little bit, but he's like, playtime is over. A little bit. Yeah, he's like, playtime is over, negators. And Andy's like, haha, that didn't even rhyme. What the hell was that? So, they dodge these trees. They're falling in midair, but then they get stopped by Chikara, who's just bleeding from the eyes, trying his best. Man,
Amaterasu.
Yeah. Tsukuyomi.
Byakugan.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then Andy does the gross thing where he rips off his own skin.
Tsukuyomi? That's warp space-time?
No, that's the one where you're in an infinite genjutsu forever. I think.
Something like that. It feels like forever.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, one of the characters was like in there for life. They had a whole lifetime and then died for real.
That was Kabuto.
They died like of old age.
No, they trapped Kabuto in that where like he just keeps repeating the same event. It's the same thing from Yu Yu Hakusho.
It happened early in the series. They was explaining that it happened to a character that like when they was first talking about the infinite the Tsukuyomi, like the technique. They were saying how like they caught somebody with it and like they lived their whole like life, like basically, and then died of old age, like normally.
Yeah, that's the
infinite.
And
then they just died.
That's the infinite. That's what they were trying to do with everybody. That's what Toby was trying to do with everybody.
Yeah, when
He had them in
with the
cocoons.
infinite Suke on me.
Yeah, he had them in
Yeah.
cocoons.
All right. Well, anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, Chikara's bleeding from the eyes. Andy does that gross thing where he rips off the back of his own skin again.
Oh yes.
Ugh, I don't like it.
Fantastic.
I don't like it. So, yeah, Rip just does a technique, like does his kicky thing at him, cuts through Andy again.
Sends a wind scythe.
Yeah, I don't know if this is actually. It doesn't really ever look like it's affecting Spring, but I guess
Not
it
at all. Like a fly landing on him, with a little bit of speed.
Yeah. Top is running at full speed. And he's like, I'm going to prove your armor is something incredible. So he jumps up and he uses his big old technique, the Takio shot right in the gut of Andy, which cracks Spring's armor a little bit. He's like, ow, you just kicked me with the all around the world attack that the Flash does. And that shit broke me. So, and that's where the chapter ends. Big 2-page spread where Top does something cool. And Brian missed the whole thing because he only reads chapters. He only reads chapters with Top in him, and this was a pretty big one.
It was.
But yeah, that was Undead Unluck.
It was cool.
Yeah, it is just kind of like not as, I guess, for lack of a better word, like strategical way of taking shit down. So it is like, let's just beat this thing to death until we can go inside it. I like the tone of the games and beating Spring at his own game. I thought that was a fun way to go about it.
I mean, they even explain that as soon as, like, the objective is just to get in, so that they can play dice with the core, and he's going to lose automatically because of the bad luck. And I was like, oh, so it's not even going to really be they ain't even going to really be shooting it. You know what I'm saying?
They're not going to be like, wow, dramatically.
No. Like, just hitting the dice, Fugo being like, damn, all right.
Blow on it, Andy.
All right. Yeah, right. Blow these. Shout out to Gambit. Oh
yeah.
Oh, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle, you wanna blow my dice? Like Rogue's not gonna like that.
Blow these for me. Talking about pimps.
Yeah.
Queen and
Gambit.
And Gambit, yep.
2 pimps. But yeah, I guess that's all we have to say about Undead Unluck. It was a chill enough chapter. Nothing insane there. But maybe the next chapter will be cool. I would hope that they would get into the core.
Nothing insane there.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been
a nice way to put it.
I feel like we've been on a really high streak with Undead Unluck, and for whatever reason, like we've hit a plateau.
Yeah.
In any case, I think that's all I got to say about Undead Unluck. You ready to wrap this up? Then let's wrap it up. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you could find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram, Josh at JD Cole on Instagram, at NYChillin on Twitter, Brian at B.ESP on Twitter and Instagram. Follow him on twitch.tv/It's Punchline as well. Watch him play video games. Very fun there. Follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram. Take part in our really good chapter of the week poll. Super cool if you did. We'll reveal the results every show. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about. Or comment on whatever video you're watching, whether it is the full version or the little highlight breakouts we make you guys every week. So check those out. Subscribe to us. Give us a like on YouTube. That would be super cool of you. Or if you prefer audio podcasts, we are on pretty much every audio platform you can fucking imagine. We're everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen to podcasts, we're on there. Leave us a review wherever you can. Give us a subscription on any of those. 5-star review on iTunes. That would be super helpful. And with that being said, we'll see you probably soon. We haven't done an American comic episode in a while. We'll probably get one out soon. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Never miss one. Oh, Josh's camera fell. Josh,
Oh, that disappeared.
nah, whatever. It's the end of the show. But thank you guys so much for listening. See you soon, New Jump citizens. Stay safe.
Peace out. And you were right with, by the way, there's 2 characters is missing. The guy with the hat and the hair.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh,
Right, and the girl that, like you said, with that Fuko.
Yeah.
Beat.
yeah. Well, goodbye for real, New Jump citizens.
Peace out. Shout outs to Boom Chapter 3 coming soon.
Don't stop it.
Can you please put a Hickmanian dead god on the moon body, but you didn't know it moment in Boom? Please, and don't let me know. Be real subtle about it.
I'll think about it.
Okay.